You are now listening to the JCA Sports Podcast.
DeMar DeRozan delivers! Trying to cut it back. Justin Fields making magic happen. There goes Fields. Touchdown! Turnover here. Kane's a Kane. 2-on-1. Hustling back his point up a shot. Patrick Kane in overtime. Pitch is hit in the air. Deep to right. That ball is gone. White Sox win. The Field of Dreams. This is going to be a tough play. Bryant, the Cubs win the World Series. Bryant makes the play. It's over. And the Cubs have finally won it all.
This is the JCA Sports Podcast.
Myself, Eric Avila, John Flyer is in the building. What's going on, everybody? We got a special show for you guys today as you guys are watching the JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. We are short one man down, but it's all good because we got it covered here because we do got a special guest coming in a little bit as we have Tony coming in from Crack One. You guys seen him the last podcast that we talked about baseball. But today is another baseball podcast. Season opener, all the games, actually season starts next week, and that's what we're on to talk about. We're going to go around the league. Obviously, we're going to talk more about our teams from the Cubs and the Sox and their perspective and everybody else. So join us today. I will drop the where am I? I'm gonna drop the link if you guys want to join us on StreamYard. It's going to be on the chat too as well. Guys, make sure you follow us on all our social media. Make sure you guys also share our shows too as well so you can show it to the whole entire world. Johnny Blasphemy, what's going on, homie?
What's going on, compa? How you feeling?
None much. So, hey, I mean, look, we're gonna have a great show today. It's all baseball. We are bringing the heavy hitters today. We're gonna talk about your boys, the Sox. Obviously, Tony being a Cubs fan too as well. We're gonna talk about the Cubs too. Just want to get your take before we bring on Tony, man.
We're gonna have my brother Nick also join us a little later as well.
Hey, there you go. You look at that. The whole Palaio clan is going to be on. His family, cousins, brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, everybody from the Palaio side.
Everybody get in. Everybody join in. Come on.
Everybody's going to join in and talk about baseball. But yeah, John, this is where we're going to be at. I know you're going to go next week to the game. I'm right?
2 weeks. And then, they start their games away. Today was actually supposed to be original home opener. Despite the weather, we still would have been there slapped. So
for sure,
a little sad today.
For sure. But before we bring in Tony, man, I want to get your perspective. I know you have high hopes for your White Sox this upcoming season.
Absolutely.
But do you think they made the enough moves to compete? And let's be honest, in a very wide open AL division, let's be honest. I think for the first time in probably in a good 2-3 years, the American League division is probably as wide open as it can be. Do you think your team made enough moves to kind of get over the top?
I gotta be honest, man. I'm still nervous about right field. We did just make a trade. It's like what is it? I'm sorry. I always tweak on the saying low risk, high reward type of guy.
Right.
He's a former first round prospect. I mean, it seems like we have plenty of guys that could fill in right field, but I mean, you would like to see them have an everyday right fielder, not just, again, I was a little heartbroken we didn't sign. Y'all notice I've been on Castellanos wagon, man. I'm sad about it. I know a couple times you guys mentioned, what's his name, Kyle Schwarber. I was kind of iffy about it because, again, he's not really a true right fielder. I just feel like it would have been where we've been before. If anything, I like the move for a second. It's a little bittersweet that Rodon left. I was a Rodon hater. So I seen him pitch his no hitter. Thank you for that, sir. But he definitely had his health issues, and I love that Kopech is up. Is up in the rotation now. We addressed the bullpen. I never expected us to go after Joe Kelly. That was a good move. So I feel like we do have a strong chance, especially with the teams that have beat us in the playoffs got weaker. The A's blew it up. They didn't even spend money. And then the
$0, right?
$0, literally. And then the Astros lost arguably their best player. Unfortunately, he went to Minnesota, which we'll be seeing him often. But no, that's why it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough. As we definitely need everybody to stay healthy. That was the issue last year. It was always like, it's always like nobody was ever healthy all at once, which is kind of frustrating. So as long as we have our heavy hitters, really see 1 through 6 in the lineup have to stay healthy in order for the Sox to be in serious contention, World Series favorites.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. And the beauty about this year is, like I mentioned before, I think the American League is probably as wide open as it can be. It's almost anybody could take it, right? As in the NL, obviously it's just only down to 1, maybe 2 teams for sure to compete for that division. But this year, out of any of the years in the last 2 years, the shortened season with COVID and last season too as well, I think this is the prime year for the White Sox to make that next step, to not just win not only one playoff game but multiple playoff games. And I think that's where we need to see them take the next step. Win a series. And probably now that the Twins got Carlos Correa, the division amongst themselves in the AL Central may be a little bit tougher. The Detroit Tigers kind of upgraded a little bit. Obviously, you've seen the Twins get Carlos Correa too as well. The Royals will probably be the little annoying pick, but I think they're going to be good next year instead of this year. But I think a competitive division for the American League Central could probably do great for the White Sox this year. And like I said, an open division in the American League. So we'll see what.
No, absolutely, man. I agree.
Yeah.
It just seems like regardless of the recent last 2-3 years where we've been favorites to make the playoffs, the Twins and Indians have always gave us a hard time. We've been back from I remember the Joe Mauer days, Justin Monroe, even Grady Sizemore back in Cleveland. Those are always it's like the Cubs, Cardinals, and Brewers. They always play each other hard regardless of who's in the lineup.
Exactly.
Always.
Yeah. No, that definitely for sure. This is the JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. Myself, Eric Avila, Jonathan Palacios on here. Our boy Jose Contreras can't be with us on the show live, but he is on the comments. He says, "Why it do, baby?" Instead of what it do, but whatever. Guys, make sure you join us on our StreamYard app too as well. I got the link there too as well. We want to know what you guys think about the upcoming teams or the upcoming baseball season for your favorite team, whether if it's Cubs, whether if it's Sox, whether if it's anybody else, the Yankees. I know my brother should be on here too as well, talk about the Yankees. I told him it was going to be a good show today too, so he's going to join us. And then we're going to introduce right now our boy Tony Anaya, who was here once before, Crack One Media. He follow his blog too. He writes all about baseball. He wrote a good one the other day. We forgive him. He was doing his finals. He mentioned that on his blog, so it's all good for him. We're just going to add him on right now. There he is. Tony, how are you today, man?
What's going on, guys?
What's up, my brother?
Thank you for
joining us.
Thank you once again. We appreciate you, man, coming out. Hey, look, we didn't think of any another person better than you to join us on our podcast today, talk about baseball since this season is going to open up next week. Overall, I want to know your take on both the American League side. Let's go there first, and then the National League. I was mentioning to John, I know you were on here hearing us, that the American League this year is as wide open as it can be. There's no real clear-cut favorites. Obviously, the bookies have put the White Sox as the favorite so far this year to win, or at least to make it to the World Series this year. Where do you feel with the moves that the White Sox made, being the baseball blogger yourself, the moves that the White Sox made, is it enough for them to compete in the American League this year?
Obviously, yeah, they were, as much as I hate them, they were elite last year. And the division's wide open. I don't think even with signing Correa, the Twins are going to be much of a threat, just because it's really not adding on to what they had last year. Because Buxton, he's going to get hurt. He always does every year. Sonny Gray, he's not like a number one ace. And then it's just Correa, But you look at the West, there's a lot of moves that were made. The Mariners, who do they get? They got Robbie Ray. That's going to be a really good pitcher for that young core. And then the Rangers, I guess we'll see. I mean, they just went and spent a lot of money. But then you have teams like the Rays. They're always going to compete. The Blue Jays, they got really good. I think the Blue Jays and the Sox are going to be the best teams at the AL. And the Yankees, they're always fine. Red Sox, they got a story. But I think the White Sox are better than all those teams. And then the Blue Jays, they're like right there. They're neck and neck.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The AL West is probably more up for grabs than anything. Like we just mentioned too as well. The AL division, the conference itself is as wide open as it can be. And you say the Toronto Blue Jays. I appreciate and I like the fact that you say the Toronto Blue Jays. The AL East is going to be the toughest division so far this year on paper, right? It looks on paper they're going to be the toughest division with the Yankees. Obviously, always them. They're always going to be around. The Blue Jays for what they're doing. The Rays for what they are doing. The Red Sox is kind of up for flux there too as well in balance. And then obviously they have the Orioles as they're going to get their wins off of there too as well. For your clear cut favorite is Toronto. Is that what you're saying for the American League East?
I think I'm going to go Toronto.
Okay.
That's not just because I hate the White Sox. I think they're like, I think it's more complete.
Well, he said for the East. He said for the East.
The East. My fault. Yeah, I'm going to go Toronto.
For Toronto. Okay. And then obviously, the division they get a little tougher for the American League Central for the Chicago White Sox a little bit. You mentioned the here and there's for the nuances for the division, but do you kind of see the White Sox running away with it, or is it going to be a lot more tighter than it was last year?
Talking about just the Central?
Just the Central.
Oh, they're going to run away with it. I think there's no competition right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, just like the Tigers, it's like they're nice and up and coming, but they added Javi Baez, and it's like I never understood the hype for Javi Baez. Like I thought he was like all right, like yeah, he was flashy.
My chest. What did he say?
And this like he was like so inconsistent at the plate, and all you have to do is throw breaking ball away, and he's gonna swing at it. But I'm always gonna love him. He brought a ring, but I don't. He was never like. I never thought he'd be like one of the best players in the league. He had that one season, but then I said what I said about the Twins, the Guardians. They're gonna be fine.
The Guardians.
They have Jose Ramirez, and then they always good at pitching. But
Tony, I want to ask you a quick question. Who do you think, aside from? I'm sorry. How do I word this without your biases coming in? Who do you think can have a breakout year on the Sox that hasn't already had a breakout year? So minus Abreu, who do you think can have a breakout year?
I don't know. Does
or better
Michael?
yet, how about I word like this? Who's more important for the Sox to have a breakout year? In order to take that level to become elite.
I think I'd have to go probably Michael Kopech. If you solidify him as a starter and he just goes off, you're just gonna have elite arms because your bullpen's already elite. So and then you have Kopech backing up,
That's interesting. I thought for sure you'd go with someone on offense.
I like pitching more than offense.
But
you could always make the argument with Luis. Is it Robert or Robert? Because
Luis Robert.
He was hurt, and then he still has some kinks to fix out at the plate. Obviously, he fixes those. He's already a really fucking good center fielder. So.
Yeah, for sure. The JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live. We're also live on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. You can follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, MySpace, all that stuff. Tag. You can find JCA Sports Podcast anywhere. Twitter. Yes, I really did. As we go to the comments real quick, we go with Cole over here saying the AL-wise, the only team that scares him is the Blue Jays and the Red Sox.
That's my boy CP.
There you go.
His name. My bad, Cole.
That scared me. The Blue Jays and Red Sox, although Tigers and Twins did get better, the NL is where it gets tough. I don't think the AL will be too tough for the Sox. Hey, John, shout out. Hey, Tony, happy belated birthday. That's what John put on the comments. Happy belated. How old did you turn? 22?
21.
21. Oh, look at you. Jose, our other third, saying happy birthday to you too. Cole goes on saying Rangers still have so many holes. I think they did those signings for the fans in the seats. Raise lineups always be scary, but their pitching is concerning. The Yankees, I don't know what do they expect up and down. Apparently Luz did make an appearance in the background. Hi Luz, from all your deals here. I guess Jose didn't like your comment. How he says Javi is the GOAT. And honestly, right here, and I agree with this, and I was hoping you would say this one because I think we would agree with you. Kogo says Luis Robert is due for a breakout year, and I honestly do believe that too as well. If the Sox want to take the next level too, right? Obviously, health has to be a big factor too, because last year, what John alluded earlier, saying that they were always hurt, right? Now they got the pitching. Well, this time I feel like it's going to be more about the bullpen than it is about the starting pitching, because let's be honest, like I said, they have more arms than innings to give that bullpen. Whether if you trade Kimbrel, because obviously that's the hot pick that everybody wants kind of out of the South Side, but we'll see what they do right there, guys. Real quick, I'm about to be outnumbered right now. This is so totally unfair. I feel like I'm being outnumbered by the Palayo side of the family. I mean, we're joining Nick, John's brother for sure. What's going on, man? Welcome to the show.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. What's up? How you guys doing?
All right, man. Just another day, just another podcast. We'll put it just like that. Welcome, first time on the JCA Sports Podcast, man. Give us your take. First, are you the Cubs fan or the Sox fan? Which side are you?
I'm a Cubs fan.
Okay, cool. You're the smart one. All right, cool. Let me get. All right. So now that we have outnumbered 3-1 the Cubs, let's unfortunately talk about the team on the north side too as well. Let's get our biases out of the face, because I want to know what you guys think about the news that's been out lately about the Chicago Cubs and the Ricketts side of the family. And this is what annoys me the most. I don't know about you guys, but me being the soccer fan that I am, and you can listen to it on every Wednesday, the EAFP podcast, just to let you guys know, little tagline there. But the Ricketts trying to buy Chelsea on a team that's worth $3 billion, at least in euros, right? $3 billion for a team that last year screamed and yelled and cried biblical losses. Guys, I want to know what you guys think when you guys heard the news. All right, let's go with Nick, first timer here. What did you think about the news about the Ricketts buying Chelsea Football Club out in England?
I thought it was very bold. I mean, again, you don't really see like Chicago owners, especially going out and buying a European team. You know, like European soccer is totally different from American soccer. So I definitely thought it was bold, and I don't really understand why he even did it. That's my take on it.
Tony, the same question applies to you too as well. How did you feel when the news broke out about the Ricketts going out to buying Chelsea Football Club?
I was pissed. Like you said, they were crying poor. It was like, oh, we're not making this much money. I'm like, first of all, you're billionaires. Like, you're fine. You can't even extend your players, but you can go buy a soccer team, whatever. Yeah, I wasn't happy about it.
No, for sure. And I think public enemy number one officially in my books, at least in my books, right? The Ricketts have became simply because this news, like you said, they were screaming out poor. They're screaming out billionaires and stuff like you said, they're billionaires. So they're not really that poor. Couldn't play players. We lost Rizzo, Baez, Chris Bryant. I think one of my buddies on Facebook put out a post on the contracts that the Cubs gave all three of them compared to the contracts that the other three teams that they signed for offered them, and the substantial amount of money, although it's not a lot, it's still in the millions, but it was a lot less that they took to be with those teams than being for the Cubs. And obviously with the news that they coming about for the news that they came out buying Chelsea Football Club, we kind of see, or at least we saw, that the Ricketts were mainly more the villains than the players. And now the product is shown on the field. Obviously, they went out and got Suzuki from Japan. They're going to be the rookie at the age of 27. But that's pretty much it. I don't know if you guys like that signing or not. Tony, let's go with you.
No, yeah, I like the signing. I mean, when they made it, I was like, who? And then
I think all of us.
like everyone was like on ESPN 1000 was like hyped up. I'm like, all right, let me look up this guy's stats, and he kind of rakes. And he gets on base a lot. And it's, I mean, we gave him a good amount of money, but it's not like he's just some random guy out of Japan. You know, he's one of the top players out there.
Mhm.
So I'm pretty excited for him.
Yeah, Nick, the same question applies to you. His first at bat was yesterday, I believe, and he hit a home run in his first at bat. Are you excited about Suzuki joining the Cubs, and how did you feel when they signed him?
I actually am excited about the signing because, well, first of all, I don't really like the money wise. Like, I think we did give him a little too much. I thought we could have offered that to like Korea, or because I think we're giving him 17 mil a year. So I thought we could have got more pieces with that. But I do like the signing. I think it's a different. It's a different culture because he is from Japan, and again the last one I knew that's from Japan was Fukudome. And so it's a culture change, but I think it's a good signing. Yeah, like Tony said, he does rake. He actually is a good hitter. I just hope he fulfills his role in the MLB because MLB and KBO are two different things.
Yeah, for sure. John, I got tired of listening to your voice for so many weeks. I wanted to give the two guests a platform to talk and have their show. But you know what? Let me give you your spot too as well as a baseball man. Suzuki, as we're talking about the Cubs right now here on the JCA Sports Podcast, John Tapalayo, we got his whole entire family on here. Last names I won't get, but it's John's family. This is the John Podcast today, John's Fan Podcast. That's what we're gonna call it. But the Ricketts, obviously, we spoke about it here and there. I want to give you your opportunity to tell our listeners, how did you feel when the Ricketts' name was on the list, that short list of buying Chelsea Football Club? And you know me, come on now.
Yeah, I know you, man. I know you're not a fan of Chelsea. I just feel like it just shows that they're hypocrites, man. You're not gonna pay the guys that won you a World Series, that ended your curse, but yet you're going to just out of nowhere seems like just put a bid for one of these, regardless of what Eric may say or other people that hate Chelsea, but one of the biggest European clubs in the world. It is what it is. It's why it's a bid for billions. This ain't cheap. Whereas man, it just goes to show and I'm tying this into the signing as well. It's like, so you're not signing your main guys because you're focusing on buying a European soccer club, but just to make the fans happy, you're gonna go and sign a big name from Korea? Japan. I'm sorry, from Japan. Which I kind of feel like it was in a way fan service because it's like, yes, from what we've seen statistically, this dude is great. He can be great. All jokes aside, I think he's gonna be Fukudome 2.0. But based on the stats, he's been good. But it's like, okay, this is more of a guy that you should bring in when you're actually trying to contend. I really don't see him, helping the Cubs compete for second. Or because they're not nowhere near first with the team they have now. And then I just feel like, okay, even if they happen to trade Contreras, then it's like, well, what's the point of signing this guy? He's a part of your rebuild. Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
I
definitely.
just feel like it's pure fan service, the distraction from them actually focusing on trying to buy Chelsea.
Yeah, for sure. And look, I could go on and on about this, but it's mainly more about who we have on our guest today. And the family tree keeps going down the line on the Facebook comments too as well. We got Andrea saying, hi, Nick, go Cubs, and hi, Tony too as well. And then Jesus Pilato saying, great podcast for sure. As we got John's Fan Bam here on the JCA Sports Podcast. Guys, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. Geez, you can follow us on all the social media platforms. Make sure you guys share our shows too as well, and keep watching too as well. Comment on the section if you guys want to join the stream. The more the merrier for sure. I'm gonna put the link on the comment section so you guys come and join us too. We want to know baseball teams, what do you think about the season? Cubs, Sox, whatever teams you guys go for. So let's branch it out too. We talked about Cubs regionally. Let's go nationally. Obviously the National League, it's basically one team and then everybody else follows, with the Dodgers getting Freddie Freeman from the Braves. They're in free agency. Let's go to our baseball blogger here, and Tony. is it really just the Dodgers and everybody else, or is there actually a team this year that could compete with them this year?
I might say, I might look dumb saying this. I say this every year, but I think the Mets can do something, man. I always have like dumb faith in the Mets. I don't know why, but I just have like this feeling that Lindor is he's gonna come back and be himself. Dude, Mad Max and Jacob deGrom is your 1 and 2 like that. That's so lethal.
Don't forget Cano's DH now.
I was about to say Cano is DH.
I forgot about Cano, bro. I don't know, man. I just always had this feeling about the Mets. But I mean, I'm obviously going to take the Dodgers over them. But I mean, I think the Mets can compete.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think you're probably the first and only person I've ever heard about having blind faith in the Mets each and every year.
Wait, hold on, real quick before you jump to Nick. I just want to ask Tony. So you're, if I remember correctly, you were a little bit on the Padres bandwagon last year. You're off that, or what's going on?
I was. I don't even remember that.
You were hyped for all the signings they did.
I was, but I mean, it's gonna hurt with Tatis out, and they didn't really do anything to get better this offseason. So it's like, it's literally gonna be the exact same team from last year.
All right. So
All right.
Go Mets.
Go Mets. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. All right, Nick. So I'm assuming that the Giants are your second team in the National League overall of baseball with the hat that you got on.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay, cool. Because I was hoping maybe somebody over here will bust out a Colorado Rockies hat, probably even a Yankees hat, a Detroit Tigers, something different. But you bust out the Giants. But same question applies to you, though, Dodgers and everybody else, or do you have a team that could probably make some noise and fight for them in their National League crown holding?
I do think that the Braves will beat the Dodgers. I think the Braves didn't lose Freddie Freeman. They did lose Freddie Freeman, but with the signing of Matt Olson, I think Matt Olson is younger, and again, and they had the same team. I think Acuna's coming back. I think that after the All-Star break, so they're gonna add to their already loaded lineup, and Albie is gonna produce, and Austin Riley took a big gap, or he improved dramatically from the previous season to last season. So I think he'll be a big factor. Also, with, like I said, Albies and Travis d'Arnaud, and also with them adding a DH like Ozuna, and I think they're gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna beat the Dodgers because I also think that the Dodgers have a better starting staff. They have Max Fried, they have Charlie Morton, who ages like wine. And also they have Ian Anderson, so I do think the Braves will win the national title.
Nice.
Real quick, I'm happy he mentioned the Braves because it's just mind blowing to me that they actually won a World Series without Acuna. Like
literally,
I never would have mentioned that ever.
I think they won off literally like last minute signings like Eddie Rosario, who knew he was go crazy. Like what the hell? And again, like last year, they didn't play with Acuna or Ozuna.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
Hey, real quick, I'm going on the Facebook comments. I had somebody just comment. Cole just comment. Let's go with the latest one, right? What cause of Chris Bryant? He's wild. He's wild as hell for going there. Money makes you do crazy things. Yeah. I do kind of want to touch base on all the players. Obviously, the Chris Bryant one, and the former Cubs players with the teams that they won. We'll get a little later on to that. But since it's already out there, what do you guys think about Chris Bryant going to Colorado? John, let's go with you first. Let's start with you. We haven't started with you. I feel kind of bad a little bit, but not really.
You're all good, man. We got to let them get some shine. Man, I was really, really sad he went to Colorado. I was just telling Corey I got the Colorado fitted, but Nick and Tony could vouch for me. I've had this since Tulo was there, since Cargo was there. I used to like mixing up. I like collecting fitteds, but man, Bryant going there was just completely out of nowhere. I was expecting a little bit, maybe a chance at going back to the Giants. Seattle, was in the mix for a minute. Even maybe see him take a pay cut to go to like a big contender would have been decent. I mean, it's just out of nowhere, and I mean, I guess he's the face of the franchise now. Good for him. He got his money, but unfortunately for KB, I think his Cubs World Series might be his only ring for the rest of his career.
I'll take it. I ain't gonna lie. It brought us a World Series ring. I'm not gonna lie. Tony, same question applies to you. What do you think about Chris Bryant going to the Rockies?
Yeah, same thing. I was really surprised, just confused, upset. It was just like, because one is like the Rockies. This is the team that gave the Cardinals $50 million to take Arenado, didn't trade Story at the deadline. That's like, what have they shown to, like, what did they show to KB to convince them? It's like, oh yeah, we can do stuff here. So it was just that. But yeah, I mean, I saw the news. I was just like, why? Just literally why? There's no reason to go to Colorado. It's like, and I was like really banking on the Mariners. Like, I thought that was the best fit for him. Just because they have a really nice young core. They had the money, and they brought in Robbie Ray. And I thought it was like the best fit. And then, well, whatever.
But when you think about it, Tony, when you think about it, now that you mentioned Arenado, in a way they saved money going to sign Chris Bryant compared to what they would have to pay Arenado his extension. They say that.
But I don't think you can argue that like it wouldn't be worth it to give Arenado that money.
Absolutely, no, it definitely would have been. It would have been worth it, but I don't know. I guess go with the cheaper third baseman to start your rebuild. I would guess for them.
I don't know. It's like a rebuild because he's 30 now. The farm system, there's nothing there. They gave away everything.
It's just a feel. Like, what are we talking about? Hey, but that purple pinstripe jersey looked pretty decent.
Nick, are you gonna go 3 for 3?
Ugly.
Did you like Chris Bryant going to the Rockies?
I did not. I just thought it was so random. Like it was like again, like what Tony said. Like the Rockies didn't want to pay Arenado. They didn't want to pay Trevor Story, but then they go out and pay Chris Bryant. It's like what I for sure thought he was going to either the Mariners because they have one of the best farm systems, and or even the Phillies because he's always talking about he wants to play with Bryce Harper. So I mean, again, I like what John said. I thought he would take a pay cut and play with the Phillies, but again, like I just thought it was super random. I mean, at this point, like he has a ring, he has MVP, so he was just chasing the money after that.
Yeah, I mean, if he would have chased the money, I think him staying with the Cubs would probably have been his big payout. But again, like we alluded to earlier, I think it has more to do with the organization, how it's ran, with the team than anything on there. I forgot I've done this, guys. I'm running the show by myself editing, but it's all good. Cole up here. I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity here. I'm pretty sure the Rockies are being ran by Luz and John at this point. Yeah, you know what? Maybe we'll see. As this is the JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook Live, you guys make sure you follow us and share all our episodes too. Make sure you guys listen to our podcast if you miss them on Spotify and Anchor app. As we go around the as we go around Major League to the Major League Baseball, it starts next week. I know you guys are excited. I know we are. I think it's about time after being locked out for so long, and we didn't think that the season would start on time. I think we gave our predictions that we were going to start what, John? We said what, May? I think it was.
Yeah,
May.
we were saying Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, for sure. And now it's early. But guys, I have a question for you. And this is the question, since you three are all baseball guys, right? And I really want to ask you guys this question just to see if this really works. Bear with me here. Now, I'm a baseball fan, but I don't love it. It's not in my veins or in my blood how it is in you guys, right? So my question for you guys is this. Would you guys prefer that the season starts a little bit late? I want to say start by Jackie Robinson Day and finish by, what is it? What's the next one? Labor Day weekend. That way you can have the whole summer in control. And obviously you don't interfere a lot with NFL football when your playoffs are right there, but their season is just starting. And you can still hold all your fans into one bucket instead of competing with the NFL in late October, early November, when they're gaining traction and becoming what's the NFL, the number one sport in America. do you guys believe that the NFL, I'm sorry, that Major League Baseball should incorporate of starting the season late, where in the winter cities it gets a little bit more nicer in the daytime and nighttime, and really don't have to compete for the NFL? Let's go with Let's go with Nick. What do you think?
I think they do. I think that's a good point, and I think they should. I think it's a good idea. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad one, but I mean, yeah, I mean, because again, like you said, like you still have the summer of just baseball, because in the summer it's really nothing but baseball. And I think in April that's when the finals for NBA start. So I mean, you're definitely still gonna get your views, and also like you said, like like especially football. The football owns a day of the week. Like
Mhm.
I mean, and sometimes like the playoff games will start on a Sunday. So it's just like 50-50, and especially if it's a good football game, and then it's kind of like damn. But no, I think it is a good idea, because after Labor Day, like I think that's perfect. Because I think football starts like mid-September, so I think after Labor Day, then boom, hits playoffs. That's right, and you still get your views, and you still I think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's what I'm here for. I asked a good question. John, we're gonna save the best for last, so we're gonna go with you next. Is it a good idea for MLB to start and on Jackie Robinson Day and end on Labor Day weekend, at least the season?
Frankly, I would love for it to start on Jackie Robinson Day. That sounds great. Honestly, I was kind of hoping that they would have a deal to push it to Jackie Robinson Day this year, although we did say Memorial Day. But it's just, I hear what you guys are saying. It would be great for for MLB probably to get more views, more money, because there were times where I was watching MLB playoffs and watching a really good football game, really good Sunday night game, Monday night game, even Thursday night games, because usually the beginning of the year the Thursday night games are pretty good up until the rest of the year you get the like random Jets versus Miami
Jaguars.
type of game.
Yep.
Jets and Jaguars, yeah, exactly, terrible games. I wouldn't mind it, but I wouldn't change it just because it's less baseball for us, regardless of like the cold weather. I look forward to going, in the cold. I look forward to going to my last, baseball game is damn near October 1st, October 2nd. And like I said, today was really supposed to be home opener. The weather sucked, but hey, you have enough brews, you're gonna be warm. That's why I'm for, the change of when it starts, but I'm not for just shorting it, because you're pretty much cutting off a whole month and a half combined from start to the end. You're taking away a big chunk of it, baseball. So I'm like,
Right.
No, really, especially because you look forward to September, because those are where teams really grind out and get those last spots. You look forward to that. That's why I'd rather keep it, especially because yes, I do have the sacrifice of watching football and baseball at the same time, but at the same time, NFL games, there's really not that much importance in September. So
Okay, so we got one that likes the idea, one that's on the fence. Tony, are you going to be on the side that doesn't like it, or on the side that does like it, or are you going to join John and sit on the fence with when the start and the end of the baseball season?
I think I agree with John. Just because there's that baseball magic, that is like starting on Jackie Robinson Day. Like that's a big deal. But like you said, like you cut off like a whole month of baseball. Like that's like when baseball is like really exciting. Teams fighting for that last wild card spot, or just battling it out and putting in that grind. That's always one of the most fun parts about the season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, it's a question I want to put out there because it's always been, again, like John alluded, today would have been the Sox home opener game too as well. And the day was kind of crappy. Let's be honest. And to avoid days like this, I think last year didn't it snow, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for MLB to start now, wouldn't September baseball being your playoff baseball, being your best baseball played where at the height of the NFL season should be contending? And then I think that's where the question goes. It's fun. Yes, I think Jackie Robinson is perfect because now the Midwest and the Eastern Coast teams have a little bit more warmer weather. But again, maybe we could play two. I think that's always a good thing. I think players maybe nowadays probably don't like playing 2 games in one day, but at least it gives it that old summer baseball feel too as well to kind of help, you know, fill in the gaps of that month that you're missing. Obviously, it's a lot of games, but you see baseball twice a day. And then in September, you hit your heavy hitters right there. Baseball playoffs here, playing games here, competing with what would you rather watch? Week 2 of the Browns versus or the Browns versus Ravens, or you rather watch the Dodgers versus the Cardinals in the NLCS championship and NLCS game 2. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
compete with the best by putting out your best, and by putting out your best, I think baseball has, to me, the best playoff series format, or not format, but feeling than the NBA that has another series in hockey. I think the MLB has that and will compete over anything else outside of basketball with a 7-game series. We're going to go to the comments real quick. We're going to go right here with Cole saying, yeah, no matter what, baseball, we're intertwined with other sports, whether it's the NBA playoffs or the NFL. Astros and Braves was awesome World Series. I skipped football games because of it. Duff, man, what up, Duff? I know you commented earlier and I didn't get to it, but I got you on this one. Think the start time is fine, because honestly, there is a lot of NBA and NFL fans that will stop watching it if their teams don't make it to the playoffs. Yes, NBA and NFL do draw big numbers regardless. And same goes with the MLB, that a lot of fans don't watch the playoffs because their team is not in it. So I think the timing the timing of the start is perfectly fine. And I think I got one more. I don't know whose point you thought it was a great point for mine. And then Kogo says, you think the Lions and Jets fans care about their teams around that time? It went true. And then Mario Shadow said, who watches the Browns? I watch any playoff game before the Browns. I mean, it may be a little bit interesting this year. Who knows? All right, guys, this was fun. But before we leave, the JCA Sports Podcast here on Facebook, Twitter, make sure you guys follow us, share our show too as well. Follow us on all our social media platforms, Spotify and Anchor. Let's do this fun. I think everybody does it in any sport. But your early predictions on World Series matchups, World Series championships, Cy Youngs, MVPs. Let's have fun with this. Nick, first timer, you're gonna come up first. What's your early prediction World Series matchup? Let's go over there first.
I think it's gonna be the Braves and the Rays.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think so. I think Rays have a perfect farm system, and especially with Shane Baz coming, I think Shane Baz struggled at the end. He did struggle a little bit, but also I think he's take a big step. Also, with Wander Franco, I'm a big Rays fan, so I always say Rays. I was kind of heartbroken when they lost against the Red Sox, but yeah, I think Braves and Rays.
All right, John. I already know your AL team. I might as well just say it out there right now. Okay, I know who you're gonna pick. That's no surprise there.
You should know my NL team right away.
All right, and then your NL team, you're probably like the easiest dude in here, and you want both of your teams. You want both of your teams competing in the World Series, right? The Dodgers and the White Sox. I mean, I think right. But what side are you gonna root for? That's the real question for you.
I'm rooting for the Sox always, even if Trevor Bauer gets to come back and play in the playoffs, which they need to stop being on that with my boy. But it's another Deshaun Watson type of situation. But regardless, man, I'm always gonna root for the Sox. Especially when they face out the Dodgers. I just think the Dodgers, man, they snapped going after for Freddie Freeman. That was big, dude. Regardless of. I don't know. That lineup was already stacked, and yes, they lost Corey Seager, but to replace it with an MVP like Freeman is just crazy, bro. It don't matter that you guys lost Mad Max. That's fine. We got Julio. He's an ace, pride of Mexico right now. Kershaw's back. They're gonna be crazy. They got bats that can compete with anybody now. I'm pretty sure they'll acquire a pitcher at All-Star break if they don't let Bauer come back to play. Then they're definitely going to make another move for a pitcher just like they did last year, The Dodgers have always made that trade at the deadline to help get them, the extra insurance they need. Granted, they've only won one World Series in the last, 10 straight
5 years,
the
whatever.
playoffs. But, you can count on them to make that move that they need. I just like the Sox, healthy rotation, healthy lineup. The bullpen is elite. It'll be great, man. It'll be great.
my two questions about both teams that has me kind of worried about them repeating. Obviously, the NL is kind of just theirs. If they lose the NL, is because the Dodgers lost it, not just because anybody else won it. But for the White Sox aspect, this is probably the year that they need to take that next step forward of winning more than just one playoff game. But aren't you concerned about the situation in right field and also their left side batting powers numbers too as well? Doesn't that concern you a little bit, even if your division got somewhat tad bit better that could exploit your weaknesses to amongst the league and everybody else?
It doesn't concern me so much as it did last year because y'all know this, man. I'm a big Moncada fan. I think this is the year my boy breaks out.
He needs to step up.
He's a switch hitter. Let him dominate on the left side. Yasmani already dominates left-handed. The guy we just got for right field is left-handed batter. I keep looking at his name. It starts with an H. No disrespect to him. The former first rounder from the Phillies. Like I said, it's a low risk, high reward type of player. So if he doesn't pan out, then definitely see the Sox trading for that left-handed right fielder at the All-Star break. But with the team we got right now, it's next man up. Whether you're gonna put Vaughn out there, Sheets out there, even Yuri Garcia, plug him in. But I definitely feel like it's La Russa loves to play so small ball. He's gonna find that guy that does enough in right field. And like I said, I'm gonna come back on his name. But the guy we just got, his defense is way better than his offense. He got speed, he can track the ball. That's why I got really high hopes for him.
I think his name is Adam Hazley or something like that.
I know it's Hayes. It starts with H for sure. I think it is Hazley.
Well, you got a couple minutes, man. You got a couple minutes to look it up because we got to ask Tony the same question too. Your super early World Series matchup.
I 100% agree with Nick with the Rays coming out of the AL. I love the way that team is run, man. They're insane. They have magical powers, man. They're always good. They're always
swear to God.
Good. And then I know I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna go with the Giants. They were really good last year, and they added Carlos Rodon. And they're another team that took up analytics, and they just went off because of it. So I'm gonna roll with them.
Nice. Let's go to the comment section before I even say anything. Go ahead. You found it?
Yeah, Nick was right. Adam Hazley.
All right, cool.
Right.
Cool.
No, but I just said interesting that Tony picked the Giants. I don't think they got the pitching staff for it. But.
That's the one. Cole says I'm biased here. White Sox, Dodgers. I don't care. Don't sleep on Milwaukee too. I think that's a sleeper pick for the NL too. Our boy Jose Contreras, and they're always making an appearance, but he got boats and hoes. Here you go. He said, just kidding. He got Red Sox versus Dodgers. Really? Huh? The non-baseball man said something. Okay, cool.
Red Sox definitely don't have the pitching staff for that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they got Trevor Story, which was an interesting pickup for me because obviously,
that was crazy.
Because of everybody fears of getting a player coming from Colorado, from the Rockies, simply because of the altitude and how their numbers get inflated being in that stadium, being in that city, in that town. And when they go onto the road, they really don't put the performance that they do at home. And other than Arenado last year, who put decent numbers with the Cardinals, right? He put okay numbers. I mean, defensively, he's still going to be the top third baseman out there. But so far, he's the only anomaly in this part, in this section that we're talking about. But let's give it another year, see if he could still make it a transition for that. We got Duffman says he agrees with Jono here. Sox versus Dodgers for sure. He agrees. Jesus, is that your pops, right? John? Yeah, he says
yes,
he
sir.
agrees Sox versus Dodgers too as well. Cole says even though they lost Correa, Astros still scare me. Remember, they get Verlander back and their rotation is lethal too. I feel we can beat the Red Sox or Rays or Yankees, but Astros and Blue Jays will be tough in the playoffs for sure. As for me, look, I've never been that guy, right? I never liked early predictions, right? I've always got them wrong. And the simple fact is, I mean, I know, but I don't know a lot. But I hate myself to even thinking about saying this right now. And like my stomach is like really, really churning, and it's like it's hurting me to say this. But I do see the Sox actually making that step this year if
Hell
they're
yeah.
healthy. All right, I believe healthy wise, they have to prove a lot to me though. And I think I'm gonna keep a close eye on them the first month and a half of the season, simply because if they are the team that everybody's saying that they are, with this rotation, with this starting lineup of from 1 to 8 batting order, defensively is their biggest issue, because they were in the middle of the table last year and defensive, if I'm not mistaken, and defensive numbers last year. Am I correct, John? So they need to kind of tighten up the screw on the defensive side in order for them to win, to actually dominate. The pitching is a little scary because 1, 2, 3, it's probably as dominant as it can be. 4 through 5, I really don't know, and I really got to see a little bit more. But it's for me to not know 3 to 5, 4 to 5. It's kind of like, okay, let me see what they got. But that right field position and the left-handing situation is the important part. And I think if they could get that down pack for the first month and a half, and now when the good teams come around and play, because remember last year that was also their problem. They couldn't beat good teams because the division sucks. Now that Correa is with the Twins and the Detroit Tigers will not be that good, but they will probably compete a little bit more. Maybe they'll give that little energy and that spark that the White Sox need to probably just have enough to make every other team a little bit more easy for them to compete with the American League Central. So for right now, early predictions, it's the White Sox. As for the NL side, I hate to agree with John and everything that he just said, but I honestly, it's the Dodgers, guys. The Dodgers to me is just the run out favorite for
Let's
NL.
go!
Says something otherwise. Obviously, last year it was the Atlanta Braves making their run and winning the World Series, and I'll give credit where credit is due. Jose did say, watch out for the Atlanta Braves. The Atlanta Braves are a scary team throughout the playoffs last year.
He read that somewhere, but you're right.
But hey, give credit where credit is due, because he guessed it right, and he said the Braves and the Braves won, right? But I think you're right. The Braves, with losing MVP first baseman and probably the best first baseman in all of baseball, and Freddie Freeman, in my eyes, I think that's a big hole too as well. Now, they did get a good first baseman. I think, who was it, from the Athletics, right? That's who they traded for. It doesn't come into me, but I think them getting everybody back, we got to see who they have first. They lost a lot of leadership in that first base MVP and Freddie Freeman, but until I see otherwise, man, look, Dodgers got them, and they're literally, John said, from top to bottom in the batting lineup. That's a scary team. And I'm gonna say that otherwise, and I know I'm getting killed. Look, I'm not a Sox fan, okay? No, definitely not. But I know when I see a good team in front of me, I can see it myself. I know when I have to be right. I'm surprised too. I won't compete if the Cubs won't argue if the Cubs will be competitive. I don't think they will. Look, guys, right? Cubs, no competitiveness this year.
No, they're in a rebuild.
Second to last place in the division, right?
I think they'll be in third. Yeah,
I think they'll be last.
Yeah.
No way. I think we'll be third.
Reds gonna spank that ass, boy.
They had nobody. Nope.
Wait, who?
Right.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Reds in 4.
Reds in 4. No, but look, I'm officially. Look,
You're officially on the wagon. Hell yeah.
No, I'm not jumping on the wagon. That's not what I'm gonna do. No, I don't care. But the Ricketts showed me a side of them that they don't really care about this organization as much as that we thought they would. Them doing things what they did with Chelsea, that's fine, but they're not getting the situation right in the Chicago fans. What's that saying? They're rebuilding, but satisfying the fans and just having a whole shit show in front of Wrigley Field. But I'll still go for the Bears, though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. You guys down too? Yeah. No? All right. Yeah. Duffman says Eric just said White Sox. Someone fan me because I nearly passed out. Hi, Dios mío. I mean, no, I have not joined the dark side. I'm just saying what I see was right. I'm not into the Sox family. Y'all can cool it, fan it down, relax. I know I started a fire, but it's not. It's just it's just a little smoky in here. And then said, they signed Marcus Stroman. Regardless of the fact, I think the moves that they made is just for what? You guys help me here. For what?
I don't understand. I really don't understand why they signed Marcus Stroman. They're paying him $25 million a year for 3 years. That's a lot of money. we can. I mean, again, I don't think we need to sign Marcus Stroman, and I don't think we need to sign Suzuki, especially if we're in a rebuild. We're not ready to contend. I think if we'll be ready in now 3 years, I just don't understand why. And again, in 3 years, Suzuki Suzuki would be like I think 31. I think 31 years old. He's already older. Like, and I think Strong would be 31 too.
That's the thing. Like those two guys, they're not even like part of a retool. You know, it's just
They're not. I
they're
mean,
strictly rebuild, and it's like why those guys? You know?
yeah. I mean, and because it's weird. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's weird because like we just gave up Baez, Rizzo, Bryant. I thought we were just giving up people. I was ready to say bye to Jay Hay. I was ready to say bye to Contreras because again, we already have a catcher in our farm system. He's already 24 years old. When are we gonna bring him up?
Oh, Contreras is gone at the All-Star break.
Hopefully,
I see that too.
Gomes.
Yeah, he's gone. But also, I think he's just like I think we only paid him for $5 million. It was a cheap deal, just like Simmons. It was a cheap deal, like $4 million. Like I'm fine with these signings. I just don't understand why they gave Stroman 25 million a year and Suzuki 17 million a year.
I think Stroman is like they were banking on the fact of getting a big free agent.
Yeah.
But I think he's still like a little overpaid.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, because we're paying him Kevin Gausman money. He is not Kevin Gausman worthy or Robbie Ray worthy. We're paying him Kevin Gausman, Robbie Ray worthy.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, and look, I give credit where credit's due, right? And him trying to lure in Carlos Correa to join the Cubs and stuff like that. And I know, Tony, you put it on you put it on a blog too. Shortstop, Carlos Correa. That was it. That was your answer for shortstop, and it didn't come into fruition. Instead, we got who the hell did we get? Remind me once again, because that's how bad
Simmons.
It is. Simmons. I don't know how to say
Simmons.
That's how bad it is. The fact that I'm like, I could probably name you a decent amount of Cubs players in the team right now, but the fact that the signings were Stroman and Suzuki and somebody else is just like, all right, guys, like, what the hell are we doing here? You know, it's like, what are we doing here? Go back to the comments real quick. Since Eric is acknowledging the White Sox, I'll buy him some tacos. He earned it. Hey, I'm down for some tacos. I am down for some tacos. That's for sure. And then Suzuki and Stroman were way overpaid, especially during these rebuild seasons. That's definitely for sure. MVP guys, who's your early prediction MVP? Tony, we'll go with you.
Oh, put me on the spot. NL. All right, man. I'm gonna just shoot my shot. Francisco Lindor. Let's go.
Hey, he deserves. Look, if what you say with your fruition, what you said about the Mets comes into fruition, then Lindor deserves the MVP. I'll give you credit with credit. I admire a guy sticking with his guns and saying about the Mets, and he's picking a player from the Mets side. I applaud you for that one, Nick. Early predictions MVP.
So for NL, I think it'll be. Sorry, for AL, I think it'll be Wander Franco. For AL, Wander Franco. I think he's already an amazing player. I think he's gonna just bump it up even more. I think for NL, I think it'll be Juan Soto. I think with him and Nelson.
Yeah, let me change my answer real quick. I forgot about him. Yeah, Juan Soto for sure.
I think Juan Soto.
AL Jose Ramirez for sure.
John, what's your crazy prediction?
For NL, I think Freeman's gonna go on a tear over there.
Get out of here! No, he's not.
He's with the lineup he got, bro. Triple crown for sure, man. Triple crown for sure. No biasness as much as I would love for it to be Luis Robert, because he was once compared to the next Mike Trout. We need to see it first, but I think Vladdy Jr.
Yeah,
he's got a better team over there this year. I think it's definitely gonna help him, just all around. You know, so I think if he just stays, putting up the numbers he did last year with a better team, it's gonna show. Definitely.
Let's go on. You took my pick, actually. I think Vladdy Jr. is gonna go on a tear this year. I think the Toronto Blue Jays are a scary team, and I think that's a team that, for at least the White Sox fans, should be worried about coming out of the American League, because that's a team that has just as much talent on their team than the White Sox does on theirs. And if you want to match toe for toe, I think the only thing that will probably give the White Sox advantage is the bullpen, because again, they got more arms than innings. So if it comes down to a bullpen matchup, it's gonna be tight. But Toronto Blue Jays is gonna be that team to compete for the White Sox this year. I think Vladdy Jr. is gonna go on a tear. That's my MVP for the AL. For the NL, I mean, if I really want to be really, really dumb about this and say Chris Bryant, I'm gonna say Chris Bryant because he's in Colorado. And that's just because his numbers are going to be inflated, but obviously, it's not really going to happen.
Sign him up for 40 dingers.
Yeah, right. I look, it's going to be numbers like that, 40 dingers. Obviously, they're going to be. Well, he's in Colorado, so on and so forth. He's rejuvenating his career. It's the MVP that the Cubs should have just kept, and so on. Like the storylines will keep going and going and going. But I agree. Juan Soto is probably going to be the guy coming out of the NL that coming out for a tear. Second coming, maybe Acuna, maybe. Hopefully. And if that doesn't come to fruition, then watch out Dodgers, because the Atlanta Braves are going to be the real deal, and they're going to be the ones that are going to be behind them, because that's the only team that I can kind of see, when healthy, that will compete with the Los Angeles Dodgers this year in the 2022 season. Guys, I as much as I love to see the John's family around me, I'm glad to say it's over, because I don't feel outnumbered anymore. But I do appreciate you guys coming. Tony, drop out all your social media apps and also talk about Crack One Media.
Yeah, Instagram is _ToneDizzle. Twitter is Annihilator, ANAYAL8TR. I should be posting my next article this weekend, because finals suck. I finished out strong. Shit days, the vibes.
There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything.
Cool, man. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you for being our baseball insider for the blog. Make sure you check out Tony and his blog on crackonemedia.com, right? crackonemedia.com. So make sure you look on his blog and everybody's blog on there too as well. Hopefully we get more from your people, from your team, to join our show too as well. Nick, do you want people to know who you are, or you find being incognito?
I'm fine being incognito.
That's all good, man. I appreciate you jumping on the show. I appreciate you guys coming. John, as always, is a great show with you. As for myself, Eric Avila, Jonathan Pelayo, Nick Carrillo, and Tony and I are here. I want to thank everybody on the chats too. Who we got? We had Cole on here, Duffman. Who else we got? Jose, but nobody cares. That's pretty much it. Everybody from watching, and then obviously your folks, your guys' family too as well.
Yes, sir. We got DeAndrea, my dad.
Thank you, everybody for jumping on.
We got hella people watching.
That's good.
Girl watch.
Hey, look, the more the better. We appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys share each and every one of our shows, from the JCA Sports Podcast to the EAFP Podcast to Sports Drip Live. Make sure you guys follow us on all our social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. We appreciate you guys for jumping on. Appreciate everybody for joining us. It was a great show indeed, Andrea. For myself, Eric Avila, John Taplayo, Nick Carrillo, and also Tony and I. Until next time, guys, we'll see you then.
What a finish!
Wow, that is unfreaking believable. What a way for a ball game to end.
Oh, that's what happened. Oh, that's terrible. My God. The humanity.
They may be the drunkest couple in the history of sporting events.
I loved his face.
I would suspect that fan is done for the night. Here's the thing. When you steal something, don't wear it.